Hi, and welcome to Underground Video Network's Behind the Counter. Mike Boroff here, as with me always is Richard Catterjohn.
Hello.
In this episode, we're going to do a quick little recap of our exciting time at Gem City Comic Con.
And then we're going to talk about some upcoming conventions.
Also, too, the Avengers are coming out, and how the Avengers is going to be tying into comic books. And it's going to be a very pick of the week heavy issue this week.
And very interactive.
Very interactive, like that. Stay tuned. So here we are, Richard. It's a week after, for us, it's a week after Gem City Comic Con.
Yeah, great time down there again.
I love Gem City. The people at Gem City have never been nothing but great to us.
Jesse does a great job. He let us do a panel this year.
Yeah.
I hope some of you was in on the panel with us.
Yeah. Thanks, dude. Inside joke, you'll get it if you were there. No, you won't, technically. Okay.
Okay.
But yeah, we had a super fantastic time. As always, it did not disappoint. We met some fantastic people, got a chance to talk to some really genuine...
Fun people.
Fun people. I was trying to think of the word. Just, oh man, intellectually stimulating, which very rarely happens on our show, that we get to find somebody that brings that level caliber of intellect to the show.
And the opposite way on one of them.
Yeah. Stay tuned for the first ever Underground Video Network Red Band trailer for an interview that I did. I loved it. It was Mike Gone Wild. Don't Google that. It comes up just what you think it will.
Yeah, it was with the Cheese Lords out of Chicago.
Oh, those guys were brilliant. I loved getting the chance to talk to them.
Yeah. And we did some other stuff. So we kind of broke down the episodes in weekly installments.
There was just too much.
With the cosplay group.
Yeah.
They were up there, and then we got this week. We got the other stuff coming on. So.
Too much awesomeness to contain in one episode. Also, we got some really fantastic news about Gem City and its future.
Yeah, they announced that the show is going to be moving to a bigger location.
Yep.
It's going to go over to the Nutter Center, and the forms are already out there to sign up and get a table, and I think we're going to have a table next year.
Yeah.
We've skipped the last couple of years because we've been having work conflict, but since we're scheduling a year in advance, I think it's going to be pretty cool that we can actually get things ready, and we'll be there.
It's going to be a little bittersweet, because Gem City's been there for as long as I can remember, as long as I've been going to it.
Yeah,
and as much as I love to see it grow and expand, it's almost like leaving the nest. It's like, oh.
But it's getting bigger and better. It's 2 days now.
Yeah.
Hopefully more people will be there.
Yeah, I think the 2 days really. I think a lot of people behind the con were a little nervous. Like, do we have the need and want and desire for 2 days? And by God, they did, and kudos to them for it.
Yeah, it's really good. Like I said, we were only there 1 day this year because of work scheduling. I had work conflict, and I think you had to work too.
Yeah.
So it was.
Real life.
Yeah, it gets in the way, but like I said, if we can schedule in advance, things will work out better. So.
Speaking of Gem City, for once, I actually got Richard in front of the camera. Richard?
Yeah, I've done an interview. We got that coming up next.
I'm out from behind the camera. I'm here with Steph, who did a good job on designing our 20th anniversary pig, and she does these for a lot of other characters. And I just want to really thank you for doing this.
Hey, no problem. It was great. It was a lot of fun to do, coming up with the idea for the theme and everything. It was great.
Now, you do this for a charity group, right?
We do. It's called Help for Heroes, facebook.com/HFH Comics. And you can come visit us there. You can email us, like us on Facebook, and we're raising money for artists and comic book professionals who are battling cancer. So we helped out Josh Metters first, and now that he's on the mend, we're trying to become a real nonprofit and raise money for everybody else. So it's going good.
Well, I really appreciate you doing this because we're going to add this to our set. So every episode we do, and then when we go around to conventions, I'll be letting everybody know what it's all for.
Great, awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah, spread the word.
Okay, everybody, thank you.
So if you watch the show, you know that a big topic of controversy between the two of us and a lot of the people who watch the show is the debate between digital comic books and the paper comic books.
Right. We've been talking this for years. And Marvel has jumped to another level.
Yeah, for anybody who hasn't gotten a chance to pick up the Avengers vs. X-Men yet, first of all, you're missing out because it surprised me.
Yeah.
When the promos for it came out months ago, I was like, really, we need another excuse to just fanboy see, oh, I would love it if Wolverine, blah, blah, blah. And they surprised me. They really pulled off a good story. And if you follow Marvel, it actually, Avengers versus X-Men was the most logical conclusion to what the story and, like, especially the X-Men universe has been building up to.
Yeah, I think they had this planned.
Oh, yeah.
This ties things together.
But not only was it a fantastic story, Marvel has rolled out a new, I don't even know what you would call.
Digital Frontier.
Digital Frontier, yes. Called the AR.
Yeah.
It's augmented reality,
Right.
which I have been kind of hip to for a while, because, like, especially ever since I got my smartphone, it's the idea that you can take your phone or laptop, webcam, or whatever, look at a picture, and up pops this. I was always a fan of, there was like a little race car, or this little monster, and when you hold this, it looks like a barcode. Actually,
Right.
if you've ever seen the quick,
The CAPTCHAs.
the CAPTCHAs, yeah, it scans it and it makes a little 3D picture. Well, Marvel decided, like it. Let's get in on that.
Go to the next level.
Let's go to the next level. We'd heard advertisements for it for a while. Different Comic-Cons, they'd release snippets of what they were doing. And I'm going to be honest with you, at first, it screamed gimmick to me. It's like the 21st century version of the holofoil chromium screw you cover. But I was surprised. I really was. I liked the way they executed it. One of the big, see, we've got the book right here. Anything here, down here, that's got this little AR logo. When you go to your cell phone provider, be it Apple,
Android market.
you download the Marvel AR app.
Which is a
free.
big file.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it was a little bit bigger than I anticipated. So, make sure you've got the dedicated, space and storage for it. But it's worth it, especially if you read comic books. What it does, in a nutshell, is it almost eliminates the argument digital comic book, paper comic book, and it joins them together.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah. The one thing that I really liked was here at the cover, you take your phone, bring up the app, and just even on the cover, you don't even take a picture, you just hold it over the cover, and this really neat cinematography of the details without spoilers comes up describing what's going on in the book.
Yeah.
Which I thought was, that right there alone would have sold me on the idea of it. Because how many times have you been to a comic book store, you see a comic book, if it might not be on your pull list, so you already know what's going on, it looks really good, and you're almost scared to flip through it because you don't want spoilers. It's like, oh, this looks pretty, oh, he died? Damn it! Oh. It really is a good way to judge a book by its cover.
Definitely. Yeah.
It really does. Marvel has figured out a way to judge a book by its cover. So what I'm hoping will happen more in the future is that it catches on.
I think it will.
I do too. I really hope it does, because then I'll be able to go, hey, you know what? That book looks really good. And then up comes this little movie, this little description of what's going on in the book.
I think they need to integrate it even more with the digital comics, though.
Yeah.
Maybe a easier interface with the digital. Maybe you could just push something on you'd like the AR button would be
There you go.
You just hit the AR button and it would link through. Sort of like a linkage button or
Right.
something.
But see, I'm the opposite. See, I like that it doesn't, because it's Marvel's way of saying, there's this really cool thing. Guess what? You still have to buy the paper. It's Marvel's way of telling me we're still dedicated to paper. We're rolling out this new feature. Guess what? You have to buy paper. We're not sublimating it or anything. We're not trying to push it aside and make room for strictly digital. No, you want this cool little feature? Buy the book. And it's not just limited to the cover.
No, it's inside.
Keep in mind that the first example, Avengers versus X-Men, it was a little limited. I think it was more like a test.
Yeah, it was.
Because it's not page after page after page. It's like, some of the things I liked was there's certain splash pages that the artwork was beautiful.
Oh yeah, that Phoenix.
Oh, the Phoenix was beautiful. It had the AR logo. You scan the logo, and it took you step by step from pencils to ink to color to final rendering.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is really neat. And the one that I really liked was when you scanned a certain page, the writer comes out and says, hi, I'm Brian Michael Bendis. Welcome to my comic. And I'm like, that is awesome. You know, I'm that guy. I like, you know, like DVD extra. This one to me was the DVD extras for comic books.
Oh yeah, it was that way. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It was the DVD Easter eggs for the comic books. Hold it up. Here comes the writer to tell you a little bit about the book, what he put into it, what's going on in it. And in this one, the artist tells you a little bit about what was going on in the creative process. So I have to say, a while ago when I first heard about it, yeah, I screamed, gimmick! But now I'm like, I want more! I want every comic book to do this! Because, like I said, it's the perfect amalgamation of digital and print.
Yeah, this is like, just like you were saying about the DVDs, that's a catch for buying a DVD now.
Oh,
You
yeah.
get the extra, so eventually this might even be something to keep the print going. Like
Exactly. Yeah, because we're all guilty of it. We've got two DVDs side by side, the exact same movie, but that one's a couple. They haven't marked up the price at all. Let me just, you know, put that out there. Haven't marked up the price at all. But in the same mentality, you've got two DVDs, same movie. This one's cut and dry. This one's a few dollars more, but it's got commentary,
And
deleted
extras,
scenes,
yeah.
and extras. Guess which one I'm buying? That one right there.
So that's a good look
That
at
is a
it.
very good thing.
And more on the convention scene, which we kind of didn't talk about. There's a ton of conventions coming up within the next few weeks, actually. Like,
Yeah.
we're going to be down at the Space Convention in Columbus, the Small Press Alternative Comic Book Expo.
That's right. I'm calling out Molly Durst. I will be there, Molly. One of our favorite people in the show and personal friend, Molly Durst, who's a fantastic artist and just extraordinary human being in her own right, has called me out on several different occasions because I have yet to be able to attend a space convention. And by God, the message, I got it loud and clear, I'm going to be there. So bring your A game.
And then we're going to be there doing a lot of live coverage.
Yes.
That's one show that we're allowed to actually do a bunch of live streaming from.
Yeah.
So hopefully we'll be doing a lot on Saturday, and then because you're going to be down on Saturday, and then Sunday, still stop by our table. We're going to have some mini comics available. We're going to have a brand new one released. This it is Killer in the House. It's pretty interesting. It's based on the little short that Gary and us did back in the 80s, and now it's been captured into a mini comic. So
Nice.
stop by the table, pick that up. And then other upcoming shows, of course, is the Free Comic Book Day, which isn't technically a show,
yes.
but everybody's doing that.
Free Comic Book Day has become a show in and of itself. It started off, we talk about it enough, but I don't feel like we talk about it enough. Free Comic Book Day has
May 5th.
May 5th this year.
Check last episode out. We did a bunch on it.
Doesn't matter where you live, there is a comic book store within driving range. You go, you find it. Because it really has evolved in the years. It went from mostly like a table with the free comics on it, and here's your bag, here's your books, see you later, to almost con-like status.
And a couple of different places. A lot of places. What am I saying?
A lot of places. A lot of places have.
Find your local comic book store and go there. After that is Summit City Comic Con over in Fort Wayne. We're going to be there doing some coverage. That's on May the 12th. It's a good show. We've been there the last 2 years. Not sure if we're going to have a table or not, but we hopefully will have another mini comic out by. Can't say much about this yet because it's not totally done and set, but we should have a premiere of another mini comic at Summit City.
Right.
And then after Summit City is Motor City Comic Con, the week of the 18th and the 20th.
Yep.
It's a 3-day show up in the Detroit area of Novi. It's been a good show. It's a lot of multimedia talents there besides just comic book because you have your wrestling, you have your actors and everything. It's a good show to go to.
It's a con of many colors.
And then after that is going to be the Tri-State Comic Con, which is on the June the 9th. Basically, we got to talk to the promoters behind that, and we're going to show that video next.
Oh, Mike, you're still at Gym City Comic Con. Man, I am having a hell of a hard time getting through Artist Alley this year just because I'm tripping over talent. I like literally sprained my ankle on these guys because of the talent that's coming out. I'm here with Eric and James of Broken Icon Studios. Guys, what brings you to Gym City this year?
We're showing off Rob Dumo.
Yeah.
Rob Dumo.
Rob Dumo over here.
Wait,
is,
Rob.
our fantastic artist extraordinaire.
For the Nightmare Unknown series that we do.
Yep, which is
It's our surreal noir book, and we're coming up here and we're trying to We're trying to show everybody that independent comic creators, you know, we do it just as well as Marvel. We do it just as well as we do it just as well as the big boys. Where there's a lot of great quality work and a lot of great quality artwork in independent work.
And we've found a very good reception at this con and at other cons. So we're pretty happy with the amount of views that we're getting on our comics and the amount of fun that we're having just being at places like this.
Can you tell us a little bit about your comic?
Nightmare Unknown is actually a surreal noir that is about a character named Lou who's been around since the beginning of humanity. And when Lou sleeps, humans evolve. We evolve technologically, we evolve socially, so Lou doesn't sleep anymore. But there's been periods throughout time that he's been knocked unconscious or he has been quote-unquote killed, but he doesn't die, and humans have evolved and grown. Well, two factions of people are hunting down Lou. One wants to capture Lou, they want to put him to sleep forever to see how far humanity can go. The other faction wants to cut him open to see what makes him tick. So Lou has just got this hard life, people are always hunting him down, people are always looking for him, and he gets introduced to an assassin named the Monk who just absolutely throws a wrench in his entire just wanting to exist. It's a great story, it's been very well received. We have never got below a 4 out of 5 review on it.
Nice.
And we constantly have great remarks about the artwork and the writing, so it's a very solid title, it's a very solid book, and we've had a lot of great, just applause and fanfare about it. We do excellent with it at the shows. People really seem to enjoy it.
Great. We love hearing that people are getting the attention they deserve, especially here at Gym City, but just in general, because like we talked about before, there is so much raw talent that needs to be recognized that, like you said, is just as good, if not better, than some of the stuff that's being published by the big companies right now. Speaking of conventions, I know you have a convention coming up here pretty soon.
We do.
Eric and I like to ingrain ourselves in all things comic books. So when we decided that we wanted to start printing our own, it was only a matter of time before we started, going to shows and then started thinking about putting on our own kind of show.
And to do that, we actually got the Big Sandy Arena in downtown Huntington, 55,000 square feet that we are going to fill with amazing talent. We have a big influence from some great people that have helped us out, including Bo Smith, who's done a lot of Spawn in 24. He's going to be there, as well as Billy Tucci from She and Sergeant Rock, Jim Calafiore, Tommy Patterson, Laura Eanes. There's a great group, but we have a big group of independent creators that are going to be coming, and vendors. We're going to fill up that arena. We've got the Star Wars 501st Legion are going to be bringing 10-foot by 10-foot movie props for people to come get pictures with. It's going to be June 9th at the Big Sandy Superstore Arena in downtown Huntington. It's going to be a 10 to 6 show. It is going to be an absolute blast. We're going to have costume contests.
Oh, man.
We're going to have a zombie award. The best dressed zombie or zombie hunter. We're going to have like an award for them and a gift package for them. We're also doing panels. We're doing just a lot of stuff. It's going to be a ton of fun. We've got this really great thing that we're going to do for all the artists that want to come. We're going to have these big boards set up that you can just randomly walk by and draw on.
Yeah.
It'll just be set up, and some of them will be themed, like, we'll have like a dinner table, and it's be like, who do you want to come to dinner? And we'll let people draw in characters on these, and they're just going to be set up to where people can walk around at random and just draw on them.
That is brilliant.
When the artists get up to stretch their legs, they're walking around looking at comic books, they see one of these big boards, they're like, I'm going to draw on it. And there's this big six-foot board that they can just draw on.
Yeah, and but it's open to anyone.
Anyone. You can just be a guest. If you're a guest, if you're an exhibitor, if you're a fan, if you're anyone that comes through the door, you can just go draw on it if you want to. And it's such a great thing that we're going to be doing. We're doing charity auctions as well. 501st Legion will be doing a toy drive for children's hospitals in West Virginia. And we're also going to be doing a charity auction of original artwork and other collaborated stuff that's going to go towards a really good cause.
Man, that sounds amazing. Is there a website that we can, the people at home can look at to remind them? Because you've blown me away from this right here. This is honestly, God, I'm not gonna lie to you. This is the first I've heard about this. I'm gonna be there. It's hell or high water. I'm gonna be there.
You can reach us at tristatecon.net, or you can email us at info@tristatecon.net. And if you if you can't remember that or you forget about it, go to Broken Icon Comics and email one of us. We will be glad to help you because we're promoting it. We've got the ability.
In between Broken Icon and the Tri-State Comic Con, we're fully ingrained with Twitter, Facebook.
We do it all. We do all the social media sites.
Yeah, so you can find us on there as well.
Well, guys, when the con is all done and said, and you look at it and you see a bunch of stick figures, you'll know this guy was there. It's this guy.
Yeah, that's gonna be me too. A little
Yeah,
bit, so.
I can barely draw a bath, much less a figure, but I can draw a stick figure. But guys, it has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Check out the website.
With summer quickly approaching, we can't help but mention the summer blockbuster movies that are coming rapidly. It's like they're
summer's
almost here already.
Yeah.
Like summer's here. It's raining outside, but summer's here. And I think one of the ones that most people are looking forward to is going to be The Avengers.
May 4th.
May 4th. May the 4th be with you, and may the 4th be at the movie theater, see
Marvel
The Avengers.
Comics.
And in case you're not familiar, and you've been in a hole somewhere, The Avengers movie is going to be fantastic. I'm sorry, I'm completely nerding out on this movie, which I do for most movies, but Cap, Hawkeye,
Thor.
God,
Iron Man.
all of
And
them.
should we not? Black Widow.
Black Widow,
Have you seen that little bit of clip?
yes.
So there you go.
So, gentlemen, do me a favor, and lady, gentlemen, move the ladies off to the side. Tell them you got a pop-up or something. Google Black Widow jiggle. That's all I got to say. And bring them back now.
Okay.
So with the Avengers movie coming out, it just looks fantastic. And for me, one of the it's just so pathetic, but one of the highlights is I keep seeing previews that have Agent Coulson in it.
Yeah.
I love me some Agent Coulson. And the fact that he is really that character is being really pulled into the Marvel universe.
I want to see what they're going to do with Agent Hill.
Oh yes, Maria Hill from How I Met Your Mother's Colby
I
Soldier.
didn't realize that was her until the red carpet thing.
Oh yeah, because I've actually, what was really neat is I've actually had like non-comic book fans, friends of mine, ask me, "Hey, who's the girl from How I Met Your Mother in the Avengers movie?" And I'm like, "Well, she's Agent Maria Hill. She's Nick Fury's right-hand man." And they're looking at me like nerd, and I'm like, "Yes." There is so much so far that's going right about this.
And Marvel's tying right in with that.
Exactly. Another thing we like to mention on the show, because we're huge comic book fans, is the stereotype nowadays that comic books are generally adult-centered, that they are not as family-friendly as they used to be, and I'm here to say nay. With the popularity of the Avengers movie coming out, we have to mention, because I'm sure that if your kids or the kids or anything like my nieces and nephews and friends of the family, they see the Avengers movie trailers and they're super excited about it. And it's like, Mikey, I want to read an Avengers comic book. And I'm like, right now it's kind of hard because there's stories going on and it's really hard. Marvel solved that problem. My first pick of the week is the Avengers Mightiest Heroes, which really kind of ties into the cartoon.
Yeah, that Disney XD.
Disney XD.
It's back on now, Sunday mornings.
Yes. Sunday morning. I was like, that's kind of brilliant on their part because it's like, well, everybody's complaining about cartoons on Saturday. Let's give them a little bone to toss on Sunday.
Yeah.
Fantastic cartoon. This right here is the perfect book. If you have any children, I hate to even say it because this was a really enjoyable read. I read it, bought it, loved it. It was entertaining. But this really is the book for the children out there who have watched the Avengers previews and trailers and promos and are like, Daddy, I want an Avengers comic book. This is the one right here. See it? Avengers, Earth's Mightiest Heroes #1. This is the book to pick up for them. I really enjoyed it, and I'm sure they will too.
And I'm going a little different here.
Oops.
I'm going indie. Boom is come out with a book called Superbia. And basically this is like the wives, girlfriends, whatever, of the superheroes and their tale in between the Avengers.
Nice.
This is actually written by Grace Randolph. She's the one that does the Stack Tactic series, the little podcast series on Tuesdays, and she was associated with The Watcher on Marvel for a limited time.
Right.
And then she left that and is doing her own independent stuff. And it's drawn by Russell Dutcherman, I think is how you pronounce it.
Yeah, we'll go Dutcherman. If we say it wrong, contact us. Let us know.
The art is really clean. and that's what I like. You know, I love the clean
Yeah.
art, and it's got that look, but yet it's still got a little bit of that modern look to it. So it's really
Right.
good. But the story is great. This is a great read. Issue 2's out, came out like a week ago, and it's a 5-part miniseries. So support this, and hopefully it'll become a regular series.
Cool.
I think that's all for this episode.
Yeah.
I think we've touched bases. Hopefully we'll get to see you down at one of the conventions we're going to or setting up at. And remember, stop by our table if we're somewhere, pick up our comics.
That's right. We'll see you there.